right? We know major. Like this is hard for her to manage her energy when people come up to pet her. So let's see the collar. Because we can use a leash all day, but she knows the collar. So yeah, I'll use it. Come here, Mama. Come here. Sit.
I'm going to take this toy away.
That's okay. That's a good distraction. We can keep it there. Sit. Is that like her thing? Is like keep her on there, give her something? No. She'll just do it anyway.
Like the frisbee or the ball, I see. Sometimes you need something.
Majority of the time she knows task is say on here, don't get off.
Take it away when we're doing training. We don't have anything else.
Now, when she's on there at the end, is she relaxed or is she still like?
No, she's usually pretty relaxed by the time.
Okay.
Yeah, she settles down.
Come here, Mama. Can I get some of the boxes out?
Yeah.
Come here. I'm gonna warm her up without the boxes, and then we'll get into the boxes. Come here, Major. Oh, so I'm already up on pretty high numbers, and she's not doing anything. Yeah. So I just know it's not tight enough. Come here, Mama.
Check to make sure that collar's ready.
Come here. Oh God. Muzzle punches, right? Like I know this dog at a 2-year-old age. I've seen it without training. Very extreme muzzle punching, jumping, pushing, in that mouth, right? Obviously, that's a big issue too. Is like long term. Well, because I should be able to just come and hold you, touch you, pet you without you doing this.
Towards the end of the day, all into that. But if you pet her and nuzzle her and she kisses you enough, then the biting.
Yeah.
Is that not tight enough?
No. Oh my goodness, girl, come here. Come here. Let me see that leash. Yeah, let me just see that leash. We're just gonna.
This is what we go through.
We're gonna zero her out.
This is what we do every morning.
Oh no way! I don't like that.
In the wrestling of putting that.
Yeah. I don't. Come here. So I would go, and that's why I was like, screw that. I'm not fighting that. Putting the collar on. So I'm just gonna like do more manual or physical labor on this side, or physical control, and just make sure she's able to just sit here. And if she does that the mouth thing again, like I'm just gonna work on that. Up, sit, having her sit tall, sit. But I can control her head a lot more with the leash. That's what I'm doing through this management. Sit.
She does really fight the more so than even power.
Putting it on?
Putting it on, and then in the beginning, training her with it,
Can we get, do you have scissors?
What?
Scissors in here? Or no? If not, it's not big deal.
I got a knife.
Oh yeah, let's cut this down a little bit, because this is going to be a pain in the ass to put it on and push it through. So we'll just cut it down. If she grows out of it long term, we'll get a new one. It's okay. Yeah, perfect. So like cut it right here.
Right, your thumb?
Yeah, in between, like at an angle.
Oh, like that?
Yeah, yep. Perfect. Don't do that. Don't do that. Silly girl. This is the cool side of what I get to see is Jaeger to her. Like Jaeger to her. Because they're about the same age, you know, as far as like, yeah, a couple weeks. So it's like, I know she's more capable than Jaeger, to be honest, because she has this crazy intense drive and work ethic, and so you need to be able to harness that, right? Like for Jaeger, he's very stable, relaxed. He's doing these commands nice and smooth. Like for Jay, he has to be able to capture that energy when it's at its peak, like to make sure he can build reps. Your stuff's always peaking, like it's like revving, and we need to idle her through the training, through the day, really. It's like, hey, don't have these like super spikes. With that, it's like, okay, we'll do some training, and maybe it's like touch-ups here and there. Obviously, I know you're doing like Frisbee and stuff like that. I would do more with you, more like slowed down process. Not like as much as like if she's gonna jump on something, it's nice and like smooth. Not like, oh, I gotta get on that and jump and turn. So hey, let's jump on that, turn, sit, relax through these things that you know how to do now. Okay? So at the beginning, all her movements are designed to like speed through it, kinda.
Yeah.
Like, hey, let's learn this, let's learn that, because we know at that age, and continuing, that she can learn a lot at a fast rate. So what we're trying to do is like get her body mechanics going, showing her the body movements. Now you start to slow it down. Now it's like methodical, okay? This is where we're at with her. Because 5-6 months almost? Almost six.
Yeah.
Is, yeah, because Jaeger's...
About a week shy of 6.
Okay, because Jaeger's 5. Is all the things that we know how to do, that's what I want to do today. Make sure it's nice and sharp and clean and not, it's like movie, okay? That's what I want. And I'm going to tell you how to press the button. I know that's always like what I need to build you with. Because with her, there's a progression pretty much weekly, every other week with the collar, how often you're using it. Numbers can go up, they can go down.
I mean, honestly, I'm not using it a lot. I mean, it's on her and I have it, but I feel like she's responding. And when I'm doing the training with her, just me and her, I mean, I had trouble with the lead.
Okay.
But I have gone back to the tree training. It's
Sure.
so much better for me with the tree training. Like she listens and stuff. When it's the lead for me, she's doing that. When it's just trees, she's like looking at me the whole time. You know?
Okay.
So she's not fighting me as much.
Sure.
I guess that is.
Yeah.
But and then
And I think that's valuable. That I tell everybody, like when they see me, I did treat training for like the first year, guys. Like I still do treat training for like new concepts to slow her down because she's very focused and in tune with that moment. What I would do for the progression or to balance that is you're going to integrate the collar and the food. Now that's hard because you have to have food and then have a remote. I get all that. But the leash manners have to happen. Like we have to be really good on the leash so we can get, and good at the collar so we can get rid of this. But she has to be perfect through these practices, just like she's doing with tree training, okay? So we can't have the...
And yeah, and then I take the lead off.
Long term.
Without the lead, she's still really good.
Good.
We went out to Forest Preserve last week at the lead.
Because we wanted a
Cars and people.
different area.
She fought him.
45 minutes.
Oh, okay.
She fought
Fought me
him.
like I'm a mother.
How did that begin? Like from here? Was there a warm-up here?
We didn't do a warm up here. No, we
Okay.
just put her in the truck and we went.
Right.
And
Okay.
then she got the collar on and going down the path, and I was just
She
amazed.
just wanted to do all the smells.
I'll coach you through that process today. I'll touch on it right now. It's before we change her environment, we take her out of it, we bring people in it, like group class was here. There needs to be a warm-up. Like she needs to be perfect here. It should be maybe 5 minutes. Like let's make sure you're feeling the collar. Because we're going to change this environment very rapidly. And it's going to be completely different. But the system is always going to be the same. And this is always going to be mom and dad. So we're going to practice here. Now in the car, is she jumpy? Is she excited? Is she just laying down?
Really pretty good.
We have a
Okay.
backseat thing and she stays there. She's not
Okay.
over energetic in the car.
Well, and then obviously you're slowing down. She's getting to the place and then she's amped up.
Yeah.
Energy pops up. What you need to do is integrate your communication again. So it's like, okay, we established here. Maybe if you need it in the car, that's why I was asking that question, is if a dog is like sitting up, looking, getting excited, tell them what to do, sit. Since she doesn't really need that, I would integrate the collar as soon as you open the door. Like, sit. Like, so all that should have already been adjusted. Collar's on, leash is ready. And if you take the leash off in the car, that's the time when you open the door, put the leash on. Sit. She's relaxed. Thresholds are always the key to like a new world. So you tell her sit right when you get out of the car. That's the threshold. And you have control, right? You have control in and out. That's always what I'm trying to do is like from your house to outside. Typically is let's have some control. Your just property is completely different where I would let my dog go every time. But the car. So now going into that next environment is there's like 10 minutes of practice right there. I would do it right when you get outside. Is like we're creating
Parking lot.
in the parking lot.
Yeah.
Now you're
Before
trying
you get
to
out there in the trail.
exactly.
Yeah.
So now when you use this collar, she's already felt it. She knows it's dad and
Yeah.
mom getting my attention, and you can give her a little bit more, right? At any point, if she sees a dog or distraction, not come. Don't go to her. Just let the collar be your voice.
Yeah.
There's nothing else to do out there. If she goes that way, she's gonna figure it out. Like
Yeah.
she's not gonna go too far. She's gonna zoom back to you.
Yeah, and we didn't encounter any dogs or other people or anything
Okay.
the whole
It
time.
was
It
just
was
strictly just
the
smells.
car,
and,
the
you know,
cars, you know, she could see the road and the smell. She was not like, I'm not.
she just did not want to be told.
Yeah.
controlled.
You know.
I think that'll benefit you.
Yeah.
Moving into different environments. Like when we went to Home Depot, there should be a warm up here. Same thing. Warm up here, 5 minutes, put her in the car, and then right in the parking lot is when she needs that level of control again. And I would just do it where you can hopefully move her, call her back to you, relax her. If any point like she's too distracted, like those scents, you got to get her attention.
Yeah.
You know, she's lost in that world.
Oh, he was buzzing her.
Yeah, all the way up.
Oh, it didn't matter.
He
I was as high as it could go.
Was it tight enough? Were all those things adjusted prior?
Maybe not.
Yeah.
You know?
I would you would know
Yeah.
before you let her off if she's feeling it through all that process.
She was feeling it, but she probably wasn't. Maybe she wasn't feeling it enough. You know.
My experience is when he's hitting her harder like that, she is really agitated.
Okay.
Like she starts to like really get like intense because
Exactly.
I don't know. And the more he does it, the more she's.
But then I remember.
I know why.
But I remembered also, like you said last time, was like it's like that. Stop pressing the button. Use the leash and try and like.
Or your body, just call her back to you. Hey, get back into my circle and sit.
Yeah.
You know, when we can zero her out with sitting in front of you and looking at you, nothing else matters. That's your like go-to. Just think of that. Like if ever I don't know what to do, I bring my dog right in front of me and sit. That's the beginning of the whole system.
Yeah.
Is always sitting in front of you. But with the collar, what I think happens is she has all this energy and she's not familiar with the collar, and now you're integrating it in an unfamiliar situation. She's confused. It's charging her up and she doesn't know what to do. So her energy is going to go into like a frustration.
That's what's happening.
Yeah.
And when you go up, not the first button.
No.
You get her attention, but as you have
Increase. Yep.
she starts to like.
You got to clear that picture up for her. It's always to me. So let's get through it now. Since she's sitting here, I'm going to start everything how I always start every dog is sitting in front of me. That's anytime you're going to work her is, hey, let's get your attention. Sit. Break you. So her breaks are nice and calm. We don't need anything crazy. But it's your ability to get her back to that calm energy. So she needs to when she gets out of the break and we put her back to come, that command, she's this again. And I think that's what I'm going to practice with her a little bit today is just saying break and calming her into that. Sit. Break. So here, I'm going to pet her when she's down. Good girl. That's a good correction right there. So medium button. Okay. I am on a 7. I think I need to go up on the mode. Sit. Yeah, we're on mode 1, so we're going to go to mode 2.
I didn't know there was different modes.
There's 3 modes.
Oh.
So if you're on a 7, which you should be,
Yeah.
at times when you're like, she's not feeling it, yeah, it's because her energy is definitely higher and the environment's crazier. So naturally, she needs to be above a 7. So what I did is I went to a mode 2.
You take it down. Right?
The numbers decrease. So like a 1 is a 5.
Got it.
I have a 6, a 7, 8, 9. So 3 is a 7. So I'm going to go to a 3. And it's going to be a little bit higher at times, but I know she can take it. Sit. Break. Right there, I anticipated the jump, so I just pressed the button before she did it. Right here, I'm kind of letting her, but not use her mouth, so I'm going to press the button on that. Sit. I want all this movement to stop. People don't like that, okay? And I know it's natural for her, but those are things we just have to adjust. Good girl. So I'm going tap, tap. Good girl. Sit. Good girl. Come. Sit. So I could have said break there, but I just went back to a command. I'm going to try to keep her in kind of like a work mode. So I'm gonna praise her. I'm gonna pet her. Make sure we can practice that, and then I'm gonna go back to a command. Instead of getting her the release of her break, since she likes it so much, we'll just keep her in a work mode. And this is where you should be at when you're in public around more distractions. Is, hey, let's just make sure you can do this. You don't have to do anything crazy, but you need to follow me, stay with me, sit, and I will pet you. But I'm not going to say break outside. Good girl. Better. Next to you is really good, but I really want to try in front because that's usually where people are coming from. Sit. Make sure all these little things are straight, so her straight little lines she's good at. Sit. Sit. Okay. Place. Sit. Go right through that is nice and formal, no movements. Go back to the pet. Sit. No. When she moves, I press a button. You go up on the number. Sit. Sit. So every time her head moves, I'm pressing the button. Now I'm not. These are good. This is how I want her to let me pet her. Like, just don't use your mouth. Okay, you can go into it, you can let me poke, but don't use your hands or your mouth. Those are those times I'm going to tell her to sit. If it gets a little bit too much, let's pull away so we can reset, not letting her get stuck into that mode, and sometimes amplifying it back with the collar. Like I'm trying to say sit, sit, and she's like building with it. I just stopped. Like, let's just get out of that.
So aside from the training, which I'm understanding what you're doing,
Yes?
if she's like hanging out with us on the sofa or whatever, and she starts, I mean, are you always correcting the mouth behavior, always 24/7, or just during training?
You dictate that. You know, if it gets a little bit too much on the couch, right? And you're saying, you can make a correction without the collar. But if it's handy and it's right there, just use it. Like press the medium button and she'll just, okay, that's too much. You're just snapping her out of that mindset. You know, some dogs, when she gets stuck in a scent, it's a different dog. When she's licking, she's a different, when she's jumping. It's like, we're just trying to help her manage those little natural impulses and teach her these other ways to be. Yep. Like, people want you to be this dog at times. So, especially random people. She's always going to be different with mom and dad. That's given. You know, you give her more freedom, you should. But at that same time, you have more expectations than this random person. I mean, I obviously have the highest expectation. I just come in here, I only do this. But you guys have to balance what you guys do as far as love and nature with this. And I'm saying this as far as like not just positive only, mom. That's a treat training. It's like, yeah, let's do this stuff. Because something's going to change, that treat's not going to be valuable anymore. There might be a dog coming here, Romeo, Muletta, that treat's gone. I like that. I know how beautiful it looks. I want you to keep those things going. I'm not saying don't stop doing treat training. Please don't stop. But to make sure those things are nice and precise with the collar, I'm showing you, I'm pressing it a lot, is she looks nice and clean. I'm off leash. Like, I know I'm going to drop this leash now, and she's going to be perfect. Come. Sit. That's good right there. Even taking a leash off is a practice. Sit. Putting a leash back on. Since she struggles with this, sit. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Sit. Come here. Come here. Come here. Sit. So you see what I'm doing here? Okay. So I'm just going to kind of reset her. So her head drops every time I come into her. Come here, come here. So fixing her sit every time. So every time, like there, I want her feet tucked behind. Sit. Come here. Good girl. Sit. 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 I knew she was going to jump as soon as I took that leash off too. So I just pressed the button. It's just the anticipation of things for her is like, you have to be very on top of her to make sure she's perfect. And that's hard as far as timing with the collar. It's timing with the collar is what I'm trying to get at. It's like why I make sure she's this picture. And you're going to always hear me say, you're never going to press a button more than me. You're never going to press probably the button as intense as I press it, like as much as I press it, as high as I press it. So don't be afraid of like pushing it. It's just, it does have to be intentional, obviously, the reasons I'm doing things. Come here. So like here, like that's intentional. It's like, come back to me. I'm drawing her energy back to me because she chose to jump on that and she's still looking at it. Good. Come. Right, and as soon as that happens, I'm like, boom, boom, get off of there. Like that's an easy correction on your side, is because you're telling her to usually come with you if you're walking around, and then she chooses the box or place. Come. Sit. No, come here. Come here. Come here. Sit. Sit. Back place. Sit. Break. Sit. Sit. Back place. Sit. Break. Back to that command, right? As soon as she gets out of that, into that break, she turns into a different dog. Come here. So what I want to do is make sure we can shut that energy down pretty fast. 2. Oops, I say 2 to my dog for her left. Okay, so I don't know how you guys want to coin it. Say it, left, right, sit. Because I think we're at this point, now we should be marking it. Sit. And what I'm saying by marking is marking the side that she's on. Because I can go right, sit. Because we practice her walking on the right side. I like for my dog to have a specific word.
Yeah.
Some people in German say Fuß over here. I say Fuß to my right side, so it's just unique to my dog. Like my dog's Fuß is on right, and I say 2 on my left. It's just like a 2 is like a quick word. 2, Fuß. But left, right now is fine. Left. Sit. Place. Sit. Sit. Over. Place. 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 Get up there. Sit. Good girl. Right. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Sit. And sometimes it's fun just to build that up, right? Like she's doing, her energy isn't bad. When she gets into that excitement, it's not bad energy. But so I'm like, what I was doing is like, good job building her up, making her do that, and then shutting her down. Boom, you saw her go right down to a sit. That's just a way to harness that energy. Like you're spiking it up, you're releasing it, and you're shutting it down. That's the game that you try to do, even through your play, is like, okay, I'm going to release it through the Frisbee, I'm going to come and I'm going to shut it down. Throw it, sit, oh God, I want that Frisbee. You can do that with the remote. Sit, she's looking at the Frisbee. Now release her. So you're harnessing that energy and then releasing it when you want it. Come. And there should be, I mean, how hard are the practices? How hard, how extensive? Like, is she like, sometimes, is that usually just like a play? Like, I'm talking about this. Like when she's done with her workout, her mental practice.
She's never done.
Okay. Okay. Well, that's what I want to happen to her. Okay. Sit.
Well, when I say
For her,
I mean, she's never like.
it's probably sometimes like 30 minutes. That's what I'm saying, like a hard one. One weekly that is like you're dedicating 30 minutes to her, and it probably is going to be it's going to be stages. So I started with the leash, I started off leash, I started doing these directionals, and then I would start to build her up for the Frisbee. Okay, so now she's doing really good, or a sleeve, something to give her more of like the release that we can harness. Okay, so we're starting to build this energy up to work for. Let me get some. You got Frisbee. Good girl. Because this is the different type of dog, right? It's like when she turns into this dog, it's not just working for you and your praise, you're working for the treat, the reward. So this is why I have this in public, okay? But we're going to do some other things with it for her. So, come. Out, out, out. I'm going to hold it for a while. That's it. Good girl. Because this is a connection, right? Like I can tug with you. I can say out here. Sit. I'm on 1, so this is like a 5, and I am on a low button.
But you're not typically using it.
But I built it up. I didn't integrate this at the beginning. Yeah. I know her energy was going to be super intense at the beginning. So I made sure she was focused. So when I integrate this distraction or focus tool, however you want to think about it, or high external motivator it's from me. So now I'm not throwing it. I'm keeping it here. I will do that. Come here. Come here. Middle. Sit. Come. Come. Oh, middle. Come here. Good. Middle. Sit. Sit. I like a Frisbee because I can tuck it and I can pull it out. Sit. Sit. Oh, let's just sit. 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 Oh. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Out. 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 It's okay, I'll get it. If you can hold your ground and then get those buttons, those numbers, I know it's tough sometimes. Just go to a high button. You know, if you're pressing low and she's not letting go, just high button. Just do it. Like, hopefully you're on a lower number where she doesn't like react. But that's what I did right there. I just pressed a high button. Place. Sit. Come. Now with this energy high and the collar or the Frisbee tucked, I want to get her back to this walking that she was walking perfect without it. Come. I'm going to switch sides in a second, put her on my right side. Right? Sit. Good girl. Good girl. And you see that release instead of a break? Like, ooh. But it's creating this, the value of this toy and of you even more. Sit. Because you are the Frisbee. You're the only one that can throw this. You're the only one that can tug now. Sit. Out. Sit. Come here. Come here. Out. Come here. Sit. Sit. Come here. Sit. Sit. Come. No, out. Out. out, come here, Major, come, Major, come, Major, out, come here, come here. Come. This is where you have to be able to channel your dog's energy away from that. Okay, this is a tough one, but we're gonna get there. Come. So anytime those eyes try to look at it, like, and I'm just steering her with me. Come here. This is her eyes, right? This is any dog's eyes. Is like other dogs don't like dogs, so they get fixated on them and they want to look at them. And if I can steer those eyes not towards the distraction. Good girl, good girl. And then she picked it up and brought it to me. She knew that. Good girl. Come here. Come here. Do you pick her up at all? Okay. Sit. Good. Sit. Come here. Sit. No, sit. So what I want you to start doing also, I was telling Jay this, so this is a good practice for both of you, is sucking her in closer. Is getting her nice and tight to you with just sitting there and letting you pet her. So I'm trying to suck her in and she's just jumping towards me. Come here. Oh, sit. Good girl. There we go. Looks a lot better. Sit. And these are just little daily practices you can do. You know, you just sit right in front of me and let me pet you and don't be all crazy about it. That's kind of what I was doing there. I wasn't feeding into her, jumping. I didn't touch her. Don't push her down. That's affection. You're pushing on her. She's going to push back. Okay, so just try not to use your hands as much as long as you have this convenient. If you have your knees, that's a tool too. I use my knees a lot. Not trying to jab them with it, but using it as a shield and block. Where I'm approaching, I'm never giving my back to a dog. I hear that concept a lot. Hey, just ignore it. I'm like, I want to address the situation. I'm not turning my back to the dog. I'm facing the dog. It's like that's usually the stance that people should have with their dog. Fly. Squirrel. Good girl. Sit. So this is where I was going to talk about throwing it and making sure she can sit. Sit. Nope. Come here. 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 Out. 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 You brat. Come here. Come here. Out. Out. Two. Come here. Come here. Sit. 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 Come. Sit. 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 No, sit. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. There's a good girl. Out. Sit. Come on. Sit. You need to work on that practice a little bit more. Just calling her in without her going up. So she should just come in, flip in, sit. Beautiful. Sit. 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 Nope, sit. No, come here. She heard the wrong noise. Come. Good girl. Come. Place. Sit. Over. Place. Good girl. Sit. Out. Sit. Over. Come here. Place. Sit. Over. Place. Sit. Come. Sit. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. You're doing so good. Come here. Good girl. Good girl. Yes, you flipped it over. Good girl. Good girl, mama. Good girl. Good girl. Ow, 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 ow. Come here. Come here. Sit. Jeez, you're a freaking piranha. Jeez, girl. Look at this. Like when I pet her body, she goes out of control. You're a crazy girl. You're a crazy girl. Yeah, we gotta get rid of that a little bit. Just a little bit. Just so she's not, there's like a regulate, like she has to regulate that. You know, she's jumping, biting at my cheek. Yeah. Okay, that's intense. When you're biting my arm, I'm okay with that at times, right? Like, I'm sure you guys do that and let her sit. Oh, sit. Sit. Jumping on me right there. Pressing the button. Sit. Come here, Mama. Come here. Place. Sit. She's amazing. That stuff right there that's advanced stuff I'm doing with her. Yeah. Right? Like that stuff I would do in public, and I know she would be sharp with it. Like I have no worries that I could do those things in public. Now I can do those things, right? Like
I was amazed at her because she's so upset that the fact that she's seeing FSB and not going to it.
Yeah. Well, I think that's like a thing you should do is keep them out. I mean, I know they only come out with you, right? So, but you also do the things I just did. That's why I intentionally showed you is, I think that's easy practice that you can get into, and it's hard at the same time.
Going back to the question of 130-minute longer every day.
Oh, okay. Definitely a harder collar lesson now. Okay, like balance it. One treat training, her meal, and then one e-collar training, which is really like 15 minutes. Yeah.
15 minutes twice a day.
Yep. The collar lesson, I would say for her is if you did one 20-minute lesson a day, and then do the treat training is your other lesson. Yeah. And then, but in there, you're still using the collar. You know what I'm saying? Like throughout the day, you're still doing. You can do little touch-ups here and there. Like if you have time, it's like, oh, I'm just gonna do. You should bridge it with play sometimes. How I did with the frisbee. Do that where.
Like out, getting the frisbee out.
That's an issue.
I haven't used the collar.
Oh
get
yeah.
Better at her bringing it to me. Let me. She wants to play this type of war.
Sure. Yeah, at times, like I let her, but I'm still winning that in the end. I never gave her the frisbee. It was always if I did throw it, she's coming back to me and bringing it to me. If I'm tugging, you're gonna out it, and I'm gonna get it, so I can probably put you in the next command.
One question before I ask. So the sleep, I ended up buying a sleep.
Okay.
So I was trying to get some of her energy out that way too.
Sure.
She's really good, like sit, stay, and then I'll walk across the room. But what word do you use to release her?
Out. Or you can say a different
No,
word.
release her to come get it.
Oh, I do oos. I do my own little oos. And she's like, boom. Muletta hears that word.
All I'm doing is like real calm, and then as soon as I go into a
sure.
Boom, she releases.
Out. Come here. Come here, Major. Major, come. Major, come. Major, come. Come here, Mama. Please.
But she loves that game.
Does she?
And then
good.
For release,
I know she does. Yeah.
I just go out, and then boom, she sits back down.
I would always pair the out right now with the collar, okay? Because people are going to say out.
Okay.
People are going to say out with your frisbee. Yeah. And your dog shouldn't out it unless it's you. So the collar's you. I think that's like a cool thing because usually if you're going to integrate these tools, you should have a collar on your dog. Yeah. Unless it's just you and your dog and you're going to say out.
We pretty much have a collar on.
But yeah, I'm even saying like long term. Like me and Muletta, when I go in public, obviously I'm using the collar. Or if I'm using this sleeve, I'm going to use a collar because I want to have this to be perfect. I want when I say out or I just press a button, she just lets go of it. I do pair it with the word, but she won't out it just because somebody's saying out.
Got it.
Yeah, and I think that's valuable. Like when she goes and people grab her Frisbee, they're saying leave it out, drop it, and I'm the one going, when they say out, I go boom. I press a button and she drops it. And they're like, oh, okay. It's always on my terms.
I'm curious, I understand that from a training standpoint. Is that forever? Or is it at some point the collar is not even necessary because they get, you know?
Kill that mom.
I guess how much of the collar is a training tool and how much is a lifelong learning?
You're not relying on the collar, right? Like I can go and take Muletta in public but I don't need a leash, right? Like I can use a leash, she's perfect. I can use a leash and she's perfect as far as other people's standards, not perfect for me. How I want to use the collars, this is what I was saying, is like with these specific things, you're going to use a collar. You should, I think. Maybe not. I mean, she's going to let go of it. You're just going to have to try harder, right? If she hits a sleeve and she's in that mindset, you're going to have to go, that's why you hear it out. People projecting, I don't project. That's just the difference. So you can project and she's going to out because that's a different mom. That's a different voice. When the Frisbee happens, you might have to say out, 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 or the collar where it's like, right now, it's like expected. Like, we're just formalizing that every time you do say out, she does drop it. Yeah. So it's expected when mom says out now and doesn't have the collar, you've already felt that same situation, just now we're losing a tool. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, there you go.
But also, my other question was, you know, it's always the social thing that worries me. If she gets amped up with other people here, and you know, just give an example. We were at a fire pit. Some people came over, and she immediately wants to jump on the kids. Like she immediately gets amped up. That's just always a collar thing too. Like sometimes it's like, how do you?
Right now it should be.
Not to jump.
Right now it should be.
Be really good in the introduction.
I'd say when you trust your dog in those situations that she won't act anymore, then you should have the collar off. You know, I said the first year my dog had the collar on every day. And I trained her every day. Mine was different. Like I would say for what you guys have, you should do something with her every day. I know you're doing Frisbees and you're releasing energy in the morning. Perfect. Do that for the first year. But we're perfecting things. Like things she's been taught, it's like, okay, like we're not just going to stay like the same process. Like I want to make sure I can progress on each thing. So the treats, maybe I'll use the treats less on these things, but I'll use it more on these new things. That's usually what the purpose is with treats. Like I know you see her without a treat going over here, boom, you've done that so many times. She sees that picture, but I can do it with this treat now. And I can say go over here. You're trying to integrate. The cool thing now is now you can do remote in Frisbee. You're not having treats in your hand and feeding, and her freaking mouth is going crazy. What you're going to do is bring her in and you're going to manage her energy. You're going to be like, slow down, get through this, but get over here. So I do with Muletta, I go tap-tap-tap. With her, I went tap-tap-tap-tap. Get over here. And then when you're there, we're going to keep you there. So I was just going tap, tap, tap. If I steered away from her, guide her to you. I was always trying to draw her into whichever side she was on. Left side is normal, is just trying to draw her into that position. And just using a collar to maintain it, okay? And then through the next sequence was like, okay, let's do some movements where I can get away from you. So get right on there. Don't spot. She was nice and smooth through that. Turned and looked at me, so I still pressed the button to make sure she got on there and turned around and looked at me. Just, it's very intentional when you do your 15-minute of collar lesson that you're going to practice a lot. You're going to press the button a lot. That's the purpose of it, is like, let's get a lot of repetitions. Let's press the button a lot. Even though you're going to do it the right way, I want to make sure I'm integrating the collar, saying, hey, I'm making sure you're doing it perfect. You guys want to practice? Feel like she needs it. I feel like we've been here long enough. But what do you think, Robin? Do you think you can do this?
I have not been good at the collar.
Well, since she's nice and calm right now, right? I think this is a good time to do it. And we're on a different mode. It'll be a lot easier. It'll be a lot easier to see the numbers because you're like, dang, I'm already on 7s. Why am I there? I shouldn't be there. But she needed that time. She definitely needed to be there though. I was on 7 right when I got her.
I kept feeling the same way.
Yeah.
Shouldn't be up at 6 or 7 all the time.
Yeah, that's just natural with her feeling the collar, understanding the
But
collar.
now that you clicked it up to the second mode, it's now 1 what 7 used to be? Or is
it's what 5 used to be.
1's now 5.
3 is 7. Yeah.
Okay. So that gives me a reference.
Yep. All right, when you sit, stop, she sits. There you go. And right there, Robin, like that first step is really crucial. Because when you're in public and you give her 1 foot away from her, that might be outside the bubble. Like that might be a little bit too far if somebody grabbed her attention. So that first step is like, come with me. Like you should step together. So you should get her attention, move together. Come. Yep, perfect. There you go. Now do left turns as well. Left turns are into her, so slow down through those. Like do a figure 8 around these boxes. Tell her come. Yep. And just walk natural. Just keep her with you. Up. She's going too far. Yep. If she goes a little bit too far, Robin, up. Tell her come. Up. Just leave it there. Just leave it there. That's it. Nope. Come. Out. Sit. Yep. Tell her where to go. Use your body. So like this. No. You're doing the right thing, but you need to do this with your body. Come over here. Other side. You want it on your left side. Left side. No, face her again.
Okay.
Now remember your treat training. When you come like over here and swoop her in.
You want her on my left side though?
Yeah, that's where she was. Press your button through that. What number are you on? 3 still? Go to a 2. Just move her a little bit out of that itch. Okay, there you go.
Get a step back. Finger probably.
Come. Okay, step forward. Just step forward. Come. Tell her come. Back to you. Just move her. Move her to you. Just face her. Just face her. Face your body towards her. Like bring her towards you. Bring her towards you. Like this. Come here. Yeah. Stand up. Sit. Just go walk around, Robin. Walk her around. Keep her with you. Don't let her go too far out of your bubble. Don't let her get the frisbee. Don't let her jump on a box. But I want you to go in and out of these boxes. I'm going to create some distractions. So just keep her with you. Just walk normal. Yay! It's your ability to get her back to you. No, she needs to be with you. Oh, don't go to her. Have her come to you. Have her come to you. There you go. That looks better. Stand up. Okay, keep walking around. Keep her with you. Whichever way. Yeah, just keep her with you. Oh, she's too far. That first step. Don't let her go too far. Don't chase her. Bring her back to you. Bring her back to you. Bring her back to you. There you go. Go the other way. Come back this way. Which side do you want her on? Because I'm confused too. I'm confused. Like, well, do you want her on your left side or right side? Because she was on.
You want me to change sides?
When?
When she sits, you move in the other direction. She's supposed to come around.
Let's just keep her on one side for now.
Okay.
Let's just do that.
Then I got.
Yeah, let's keep her on left. Let's just do left side. Yep. Oh, she's looking away. Go the other way. Turn right. Go that way. Yeah. Come back this way. Turn right. There you go. Keep coming. Keep coming straight. Keep coming straight. Keep coming straight. Keep coming. Go that way. Go by dad and then turn right and come around the box. Keep her with you. Don't let her get distracted. No. Up, don't let her get out. She's too far. She's too far. She's out. But with your body. So when you see her, yeah, just drop down. Yeah, as soon as, because she needs to see that saying, come to me, that body language. Right there. Yes, there it was. Keep her with you. Keep her with you. You might have to go up on a number. Just keep moving. Just keep moving. Just keep moving. Don't worry about that. Just keep moving. You can go a little bit faster at times too. She's kind of slowing down. Just keep her in your bubble. There you go. Change directions. Up, 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 up. Up, up, up. Yeah, other buttons. Yep. There you go. Low button when she's coming towards you. But her eyes aren't coming towards you, so you need to keep on the button. Put in your right hand, Robin, the remote. Yeah. Keep walking. Just tell her come. She'll come with you. Move her, go towards her. She's stuck in this itch. So, no, don't keep hitting. That's just going to amplify it. Just move her. Come. There you go. There you go. Yeah, if she gets stuck in it, like if you see her itch, just move her. Because we're pressing it a lot right now. It's just an irritant for her puppy skin. Up, up, up. Tell her come. All right, now let's put her on place. So bring her towards this way. Yep. Tell her sit. Sit with you. Okay. I want you to, like with your arms, go like that and say back, place. Yep, back. Press a button, place. Have her sit. Turn and look at you. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. She's tired. She's worn out. Oh, but